Hi, this is Bhavna, and you're watching India Today. I have the beautiful and the gorgeous Shriya Saran with me right here, who is basking in the glory of her successful film Drishyam 2. Firstly, a huge congratulations, Shriya. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good.
I have to. I mean, it has to begin with this that the film is doing so well at the box office, and it is all thanks to the word of mouth, the positive word of mouth. How does that make you feel as an artist who's part of such a beautiful film?
Feels amazing. It was right here in this room that I heard the first narration, and I loved it from the word go. Um, I'm very happy for Abhishek, very happy for the entire cast and crew because everyone worked really hard, and this film doing well makes it big for us. Um, and I just hope people keep watching it, keep loving it, and keep going to the theaters again and again.
I'm sure they are. There are people are flocking in huge numbers, and that's amazing. Like I said, But when you first signed up, and also because comparisons are usually being made, thankfully, after watching the film, I don't see a lot of comparisons being made with the Mohanlal
Because
one.
it's not a copy. I think it's an impression, and it's a really good one. I mean, it's I think it's molded into the whole, taking from where it left in the part one to here. It's a very beautiful progression. It has a very strong Abhishek's flavor, and of course, Ajay he's such a fabulous actor. It's his own style. So Tabu means she's amazing. Akshay Khanna. So yeah, so everyone's come together, and it's their own flavor that kind of drives the film forward.
Beautiful. But I have to also understand what is the best compliment that you have received so far, because I'm sure you must be swarmed with messages from friends and from the industry as well.
My dad told me that he loved the film. He never comes for previews, but he was there. He rarely comes. He was there till the end. He hugged me and he was talking about the film till 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And he's like, even today in the afternoon, he's like, this is going to be so much fun, and I'm sure people will watch it again to understand because it is such an intelligent film. So that means a lot.
I can completely understand. Parents saying good things about your film or about your work means the most, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, I want to understand this also makes everyone who has been a little wary of the fact that Bollywood is not doing well, or all of those questions. I feel that this is an answer that if the film is good, it will do well at the box office. Do you also, what are your views
If
on
the
it?
film is good, it'll do well. I totally believe in that. But oof, also, I feel every industry, I mean, you have sometimes films are doing extremely well, sometimes films don't do well, and it's just part and parcel. And COVID was such a huge influence, right? Like, people had to, like, really, it was hard for people to come out and go to theaters. It was hard for people to get back to the normal world. And I feel Drishyam is also a film that kind of keeps you engaged till the end, and you're like, what's gonna happen, and that's what I think is the power of Ajay whole performance, that it comes in like last 10 minutes and it's just like, whoa, what did he do? So that, I think that's interesting, and it's also a film where it's interesting to watch on big screen because it gets you engaging, and there's so much happening in the middle. So all of that, I feel like it's interesting to watch a film like this on a big screen.
True, but also because you have predominantly worked in all all cinemas, I would say Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and also Hindi films, right? Do you feel what is your take on this entire North versus South debate? Because you perhaps would be one of those people who has the right to comment on it because you have like worked in both the industries.
I don't understand because honestly, I was very young when I started working, and I had a chance to travel and meet um, people from different part of the country, especially south. I've traveled so much, and I still remember the first time I took a flight to go for my screen test in Hyderabad. It was the first flight I ever took. I come from a very simple middle class family, and I was when I landed there, and I felt like, wow, it's beautiful. A country. I mean, our country is so diverse. Our currency is printed in 17 languages, and when you go there, you meet, like, if you eat different food, you meet people who speak different language, and there's a script which is completely different. But the idea of love for the country, or we belong to one country or India, it's just so beautiful, and it's so beautifully engraved in each one of us. that end of the day, we all are about India, all about our country, and all about being Indian. And I feel cinema really brings people together. That's the only time, where it doesn't matter what language, where, what. You just watch a film in one theater. It doesn't matter who's sitting next to you, but you're engrossed in the experience. And when you clap together. When you cry, like everyone's crying together, and it's such a bringing you random people, strangers together experience, and it's so beautiful like that. So now with I think so many platforms, what has really happened is that you kind of know what's happening in different cinemas. So you could be sitting in like Darjeeling but watching a Tamil film, could be watching in Jaipur but watching a Malayalam film. In Delhi you could be watching a Kannada film. So it's, and I think that's beautiful because now we are one industry, and let's just call it Indian film industry.
I wish that that narrative changes very soon. I mean, the North and South divide is still there when, in conversations at least. Hopefully, that will get blurred
Because I
more and
feel
more.
like it doesn't matter what industry does well. What matters is the Indian film industry is doing well. So whether RRR was made in Telugu, it doesn't matter. But what matters is that the film industry had a huge hit, which was RRR.
I agree, and I've spoken to so many people who have been just singing praises of that movie as well. I want to understand, since you've mentioned RRR, let me just ask you that as well. What do you have to say about the entire Oscar buzz? It's been nominated right now, sent for nominations. What do you have to say about that? Because there was a little bit of an uproar when it was not selected as the Indian official entry.
I feel Rajmouli sir has this capacity to dream and make his dream into reality. He can dream larger than life. He has this whole vision where he sees things the way probably a lot of people won't see it. And I find it very, I think he's one of the best filmmaker I worked with. His entire family is into films. Like his wife will be designing, or and then being part. His son is part of the productions. Brother creating music, and so when you sit for lunch on that film or any of his films, I've done Chhatrapati also. It's like home food and conversations about cinema, and he also works with the same crew again and again and again. So there's the same Senthil, and then so it's actually really beautiful. You feel like you're part of a family. And then there's that love. You do a good scene, that love that they show you around that lunch table. It's just beautiful. And he gives you so much to perform. Like he writes these beautiful scenes. Honestly, when I was doing RRR, I had no idea what was where I s- where I what was my real role in the film. I only knew that this is what I was doing. I didn't know.
That it would go to, there would be such an
I
uproar.
didn't know that. I knew that it has big actors, but when they called me, I didn't know it was Ajay sir in the film. They said, "Yeah, we have Ajay sir in the film," but I didn't know that he was part of my story. I don't know what Charan and Tarak were doing in the film. When I asked him, he said, "You have to watch the film," because what mattered was that episode. He said, "This is what matters to you. Nothing else matters to you," and truly so.
So is that the answer as well? That Oscar or not doesn't matter at the end of the day. The film is getting.
End of the day, it's the experience, the emotions that you see. Like I remember, Rajmali sir had asthma attack before we were shooting the whole film, and there's so much dust and all of that, but it didn't matter. It just didn't matter to him, you know. Um, for him, what matters is the story is being told and it's explained really well, and I find that extremely beautiful.
Wow. I think, Shriya, that is one of the reasons why you are where you are. Also, because the body of work is so experimental at the same time. You have so many good films, hit films, super hit films in your, body of work. But how does that change you every time? Like, do you ever take that pressure that, okay, there was an RRR, there's a Drishyam too, and now all your other films, people will obviously have a look out for it as well. Do you take that pressure sometimes?
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, you do get that pressure as to what are you gonna do next, or what is it gonna be like. But what I really do is I try to just concentrate on my work, try and work with amazing directors, people who will inspire me. I try to do that as much as I can. I I basically just try and find better scripts and scripts that kind of um, challenges me, and that's it. Uske baad to you have to leave it on God. Yeah, sab Friday ko everything is decided.
it's a Friday game
It's a
after
Friday
all.
game. बाकी सब तो ऊपर वाले पे छोड़ना पड़ता है. There's nothing beyond you can do.
True, true. But also, I want to understand over the years because you've been working for quite a few, I mean, 2 decades almost, right? In 2 decades, how has Shriya as a person and as an actor changed according to you? Actor, of course, the growth we have all seen, but internally, has something changed for you?
Yeah, a lot, yeah. Like, I feel I understand the craft better. I've grown, I have evolved, I have met some amazing people, amazing friends. I've really laughed and I've lived on the set. My directors have been my best teachers. They've taught me how to act, they've taught me how to not to act, they've taught me how to be natural. I've learned everything and then I've unlearned it on the film set. I have make friends for life, and I always wanted to be part of people's life. Like I remember the first time I met somebody, and then they said they'd seen my film, and I was very like, oh, like I was still in college, and it was very hard for me to like. First of all, see yourself on big screen, and then someone said, and then they said that this will be part of her life because they saw it with the father, and then she was having major issues, and when they saw, they cried, they spoke, and this film will always be part of her father-daughter journey. And that kind of, I felt like, okay, I understand somewhere why it's so beautiful to do different roles because you become part of people's life, and they remember you for that, and it's a beautiful feeling.
Like you mentioned, you actually started off pretty young. At that point, to handle stardom, to handle the kind of scripts that were coming to you, to handle the entire work culture, because it's very different on a set. It's not like going to school, of course, it's a very different culture at work, right? How did you dabble all of that as young Shriya?
I think I had my mom all the time with me, and she instilled hard work on me. And because she's a teacher, she made sure that I worked really hard. She made sure that I was always on time. And it's something Rajnikant sir taught me once, and he said that listen, you will become famous, but then you'll fail, and you'll fail miserably, and then you'll fall and fall again, and then you'll get up, and the only thing that really matters are the people who are there when you're trying to get up, because those are the people who you've helped or you've been nice to or you've been kind to when you were growing and when you're becoming famous. And so it's very important the kind of attitude you have towards everyone. And I feel like that's he taught me that somewhere. He taught me not to lose my temper, not to. But I mean, it's. I mean, I'm human. I'm not as smart as Rajni sir is. I do lose my temper, but I feel I'm easy at saying sorry, and I feel that I've learned that um, it's the niceness of people, everyone I've met, who made me who I am.
But also, despite all the stardom and everything that you have achieved, you have maintained to keep your personal life very low profile. Although I feel that you are someone who's immune to trolls as well. I know that recently, for God knows what reason, I mean, that entire video of you and Andre kissing at the Drishyam 2 screening, I don't know why it was trolled, but it was. How do you react to all of that?
I find it really funny. I mean, Andre find it really funny because, um, I mean, he just can't hack it. Why is it unnatural to kiss somebody you're married to? So he doesn't understand, and I think it's really funny that he doesn't understand. And I find it really funny when people write all of that. And honestly, I don't care.
Good, you shouldn't because it is not like worth caring for as well.
I feel like if somebody can get inspired and feel happy and actually goes and kisses his wife, and if someone finds it cute, even that one person is worth it.
Oh, true, true. You also have a daughter, Shreya. How is she and has she watched anything of yours? She's too young actually right now, but like does she react to things?
No, she's not even two, but when she sees my picture in the newspaper, she's like, Mama, Mama. It's really funny, and she goes and she holds that paper and she runs behind me, Mama, Mama. But she gets really excited. Yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet.
So motherhood has been going great for you as well. What next? Because of course people now have their eyes set to know what Shriya is doing next.
I'm doing the next film that I'm doing is Kabza, which is a pan-Indian film. It has Upendra and Sudeep. Then there is Music School, which is also a pan-Indian film, which has um, which is basically based on Sound of Music. That film is happening in this, and Charman Joshi is in the film. Yeah, so that's why.
Lovely. And lastly, I want to know now because recently I read a report wherein you did open about Samantha's medical condition. I want to know, did you happen to, because you all are from the same industry, did you reach out to her? Perhaps how is she doing? Do you have any idea? Any update for
She's a
us?
very strong girl. She always has all her blessings, and Samantha will fight back. And I'm sure the next thing she'll do will be stronger, better. She is just a very beautiful girl.
Thank you so much, Shreya, and all the very best to you. I hope to see you in more films in Hindi cinema as well. Thank you so much.